Welcome viewers to this second race from Split 2 here at Daytona Tamworth for round 2 of the EKS. This is the circuit which hosted the first ever championship round of the EKS this time last year. Luka Nik is starting on pole position for this one, courtesy of setting the fastest lap time in race number 1, and he's starting alongside Jamie Handyside on the front row of the grid. Hugh Moreton is starting all the way up in 3rd position alongside James Browning, with then Chris O'Connell starting as our top senior heavyweight driver in 5th place alongside Chrissy Harding. Andy Laister is then in 7th position alongside fellow senior heavyweight driver Miles Harding, and then we've got Yachi Low and Ross Sandwell rounding out the grid.
Luka Nik and Jamie Handyside will share row 1 as they roll down into turn 3, which is our new start line here at Tamworth ahead of EKS round 2. And Split 2 race 1 was a pretty entertaining one. These two resuming their battle inside of their second race of the day. We'll wait for the green flag and it's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start for Luka Nik, who squeezes into the lead as they head down into turn 1. Jamie Handyside still attacking him as they go down into what turns into actually turn 4. Chris O'Connell on the inside line looks to get himself up into 4th. He'll now start to battle with Hugh Moreton for the last podium spot, so to speak. Hugh goes a little bit deep on the exit of turn 5 and Chris O'Connell is able to squeeze his way through. Chrissy Harding now trying to make up that spot as Luka Nik is alongside Jamie Handyside for the lead of the race down into turn 7. They'll go down the hill and Luka has to tuck in behind, so it's a good defensive line from Jamie Handyside as they go through turn 8 and into turn 9. Luka, I'm sure, probably want to try and get to the outside line if at all possible. Jamie has a few kart lengths, so Luka will have to get a little bit creative. He actually finds himself under more pressure. Chris O'Connell, who was doing very well in that first race, he starts to try and attack Luka, and Luka makes a mistake into turn 12. That allows this Chris O'Connell to go through and into second spot, so Luka Nik will be frustrated. The D-Max brakes very, very sensitive, Luke, and Luka finding that out.
Yeah, he did indeed, and whilst that was going as well, he just saw on the static camera there, it was Ross Sandwell making a move there on James Browning into the final corner, so good overtake there, as Chris O'Connell, as you say, has now managed to make his way through past Luka Nik. So we've got Jamie Handyside in the lead of the race ahead of Chris O'Connell, and then Luka Nik in 3rd position. So Luka, he got a good start there, managed to hold on to the lead from the start, but then Jamie, as we saw this time last lap, managed to make his way through, and now Chris O'Connell is through too, so Luka Nik temporarily down to P3.
Luka Nik falling a little bit of a ways behind Chris O'Connell actually on this lap. Chrissy Harding will be trying to build a bit of a gap to the drivers that are just behind her, as see on the second camera the driver field going into turn 12. Jamie Handyside with a pretty comfortable gap. Luka Nik actually falling into the clutches of Hugh Moreton ever so slightly, and Chrissy Harding having to drive a little bit defensive just ahead of, I believe, Miles Harding, who's starting to attack her. So the husband and wife duo now heading down into turn 3 will be battling along throughout the course of this race, I am sure. As into turn 4, Luka Nik closes up a little bit on Chris O'Connell. If he gets a good exit, he might just be able to start to attack. He can't quite find a way through. Let's see if Chrissy Harding is going to be able to defend against her husband. Looks like she is, so no major drama there from her perspective. Luka Nik now trying to attack Chris O'Connell once again, puts his hand to the left-hand side to sort something out. Chris O'Connell, though, seems pretty comfortable where he is for the time being.
Chris is doing a fantastic job here up in 2nd position, so he is our leading senior heavyweight driver in this race. So all the senior heavyweights are racing together in Split 2 today, and Chris, on his first visit here actually to Tamworth, doing a fantastic job here in 2nd place ahead of Luka, who is a regular in the Sandown Park D-Max Super Champs. Now just cutting back to Ross Sandwell here, so Ross down in 10th position after those troubles that he had in race 1 with his crash and with his car issues as well, but he's recovering here in 10th, keeping up with his pack of karts. So if you see them actually coming down the back straight here, we can see all the cars going through shots. So there's Chrissy ahead of Miles, and then we've got Andy Laister, James Browning, and Yachi Low. In fact, actually you can see on Ross's onboard here, James Browning's up the inside of Yachi Low. So going down into turn number 4 here, yeah, James Browning looking up the inside there of Yachi Low. Don't think he was quite able to make that move stick though. Now looking up the inside again, now going through turn number 5. You can see in the top of the shot as well, Chrissy Harding, she's got her husband all over the back of her, as Ross is now at the inside of James Browning. So good move there by Ross Sandwell, capitalised on the battling whilst James was looking for the move on Yachi. Ross just slit one up the inside there, and he's now through, as just like Andy Laister is also in the top of the shot, got his way through past Miles Harding. So Miles was trying to get past his wife Chrissy, and Andy has managed to get through in the process. So some good battles going on here. All of these drivers are battling out for 5th place. These are at the back of the field as well, so there is no one too far back as they head through. Static shot here Ross Samwell up the inside of Yachi Low, looked for the move there into turn number 12, but wasn't quite able to make a stick there. He's actually got quite a poor exit, so he's going to be under pressure here from James Browning to come up the start, finish straight. You can see him flying through shot. Miles Harding, he managed to make his way back past Andy Laister, so Ross was overtaking Yachi, or trying to overtake Yachi. It looks like Miles did manage to get past Andy. So great battles here unfolding in this battle for 5th position. You can see in the top of shot, Andy Laister looks like he's on the outside of Miles Harding. Now Miles looking up the inside of Chrissy Harding, heading into turn number 6. He's not quite able to make his way through. Now Yachi Low, he's looking at the back of Andy Laister as Ross Samwell, he's on the outside of Yachi Low. No way he can do this, surely not. No, I mean that's an off-camber corner, that's very difficult to overtake from the outside there. But now Ross, look at the inside of Yachi Low. Oh, Yachi, I think he spun there. Ross Samwell, he's through. I think we can't quite see in shot, but it looks like Yachi Low may have just spun out there, going through turn number 9. Now Ross Samwell, he's looking at the inside of Andy Laister. Can he get past 2 people in the space of a few corners? Not quite. Looks up the inside there, but like with the previous lap, Ross not quite able to get the exit. As yeah, we can see Yachi Low go through his shot here. It looks like he actually did spin out there, out of, I think it was in 7th position at the time, 7th or 8th place. But yeah, Ross Samwell was looking at the inside of Andy Laister there, not quite able to get the exit speed there, bogged down quite a lot, where he was taking the tighter line through turn number 7. But now Ross Samwell, he's on the back of Andy Laister still. This is a, 5-way fight, I think it now is, for 5th position. So we've got Ross, he's looking at the inside here of Andy Laister, heading into turn number 6, and he makes a little bit of contact as well with Miles Harding. Andy Laister now, he's got the exit. Coming out of turn number 6, Andy Laister, he's managed to slip his way through past Miles Harding. It was looking like Miles, as he's now getting overtaken by Ross Samwell too. Ross Samwell, he's up the inside of Miles Harding. I was going to say, Miles Harding was looking at the back of his wife, Chrissy Harding, was trying to get past her, and instead, he's just been overtaken by 2 cars. Now Ross Samwell, he's looking at the inside again of Andy Laister. He's done a fantastic job here. He's picking his way through the field. Now look at the inside of Andy, going through this final corner. He's trying to do the same move again as last lap, but again, same result as Miles Harding's now on the outside. Can he get back past Ross Samwell? Not quite, but what a battle this is. In this battle for 5th position, Chrissy Harding, she's at the front of it all, and then we've got these 4 here are scrapping it out as Andy Laister is going a little bit defensive now, heading down into turn number 4, not quite able to make the move. Ross Samwell, he was close enough, but Andy was blocking him off. Now Andy, he's looking at the back of Chrissy Harding himself. So can Andy go for the move now? Heading down into turn number 6, he's looking at the inside, and he has managed to make his way through. So great move there by Andy Laister, managed to make his way past Chrissy Harding, now running on board with Chrissy. She's straight back up the inside here of Andy Laister. What a battle this is for 5th position. What a fantastic race it is in split 2 as Ross Samwell now, he's looking at the inside of Andy Laister, going into turn number 9, not quite able to get through there. He did look at it.
Chrissy Harding down into turn 4 for the last sort of 5 minutes or so of this race has still been driving defensively behind the massive train that is just behind her. And Andy Laister had a little bit of a look a while ago and now has another look again down into turn 6, squeezes the inside line and finds his way through on the outside line. Chrissy will find herself under pressure again. She has to go to the inside of turn 7 into turn 8. Is eventually going to be overtaken by 2 different cars. So Andy Laister gets through, Chrissy Harding falls down at 2 positions, and now Andy Laister finds himself under pressure as we go down into turn 10. So all of these drivers starting to battle along. Chrissy losing a couple of kart lengths really down into turn 12, will gain them back as Andy Laister finding himself under a great deal of pressure by Ross Samwell down into turn 1. Ross will try and get him as they go down into turn 2. Very, very fast part of the track. You can get up to about 55 mile an hour as you go through turn 3. That's where they are now, and Ross Samwell looks like he's got the exit. He'll start to apply the pressure on Andy Laister as they go down the inside into turn 4. Andy leaves the door open with Chrissy as well, but the inside for turn 5 actually stays open. Chrissy looks to the inside, can't quite find her way through, and Andy Laister holds onto the spot exactly where he is for the time being, but it's so close between the 3 of them. And the thing that we're not showing on our camera that you'll see when they pass the static camera actually is that Chrissy Harding's got some drivers behind her that are battling.
Yes, she does indeed. So you can see actually on the timing tower, which is now kicked into life, that you've got Andy's just been overtaken by Ross, and then you've got Chrissy, and she has got James Browning right behind her. So now come down towards the final corner on the circuit. You can see all three of those drivers together. So James Browning is on the back bumper here of Chrissy as they come out through turn number 1. Also, Yachilo, just saw him going through shot there. He's managed to catch up the pack, so he's caught up now pretty much to the back of Miles Harding, only about a second or so back from Miles. So he's done a good job here, setting consistent 59 or 58 second lap times. As Chrissy Harding now is looking up the inside of Andy Lester going into turn number 4. Chrissy looking up the inside, not quite able to get through though. Tried to peek through, but not able to get the good exit there out of turn number 4. So like I say, Yachilo just set a 58.6, a really quick lap time here as he starts to catch his pack back up. Now, meanwhile, if we look a bit further forwards, we've got Luka Nik here. He's really starting to catch back up to Chris O'Connell, who had pulled away early on the race. Luka really setting some good lap times here, though, setting consistent low 57-second lap times, catching Chris O'Connell back here. So this could be a last lap battle for second place.
The 57s in these conditions, very competitive lap times for sure. Let's see if Luka Nik, who's actually caught up a great deal out of turn 4 and through turn 6 he goes now. He's really putting that pressure on Chris O'Connell into the last couple of laps of this race. These two are going to battle, I am sure. Chrissy Harding, same story with Andy Lester. She tries to catch up through turn 3 but can't quite get the car poised in order to get a run into turn 4. Andy does brake late, takes a very, very wide line, goes a little bit deep into the corner actually, and doesn't allow Chrissy Harding to find a way through, but she certainly had a look at it for a moment there. Luka Nik, meanwhile, through turn 12, gets the car set up absolutely wonderfully. Chrissy's putting the pressure on Andy Lester as well. I think we'll have a multi-view cam of that, but Luka falls away out of turn 1. Keep an eye on Chrissy Harding then as she starts to keep that pressure alive on Andy Lester. Into turn 9 they go. Chrissy looking very good to make this move, and she'll dive down the inside into turn 10. She has to go all the way onto the curb. A bit of contact between the two of them, but Chrissy Harding is able to squeeze through into the position. So Chrissy Harding will be delighted with how her progress is going on through this race. Luka Nik's still starting to attack Chris O'Connell. I imagine I'll take the last lap ball this time by Luka.
They will indeed, yeah. So we're just in the last lap and a half of the race here as Luka Nik is on the back bumper of Chris O'Connell as they head now down into turn number 9. Chris O'Connell got a little bit of a snap of oversteer, and Luka Nik has managed to catch right up to the back of him as a result. Another snap of oversteer from Chris O'Connell as he gives him another little tap from behind, now going down into the final corner of the circuit. Luka Nik deciding against sending it up the inside there, but he will now get a good run out of this final corner through turn 1 and up the start finish straight as we see them now approaching on the static camera. He is in the slipstream of Chris O'Connell here. Do not go for a move into this corner here because it is very dangerous indeed. But Luka Nik now, he's managed to keep behind as they head down to turn number 4. What an overtake that is indeed. So Luka Nik sending it up the inside of Chris O'Connell into turn number 4 on the final lap of the race in the battle for second position. That was an absolutely superb move by Luka Nik. Didn't lock up one bit, slotted up the inside, and Luka Nik now is ahead of Chris O'Connell and into second place.
But for how long? Because Chris O'Connell is right on the back of Luka Nik and will try the counter-attack whatever possible, but he locks up into turn 9. That's agonising because that might just take him out of the equation as they head up to the line. Just 2 corners to go, really 3 corners technically for Luka Nik. Into turn 12, Chris O'Connell has to get it absolutely spot on. But again, a bit of oversteer on the exit. Luka Nik gets the better exit as they run down through turn 2 and into turn 3. It's going to be Luka Nik who holds on to second position, gains it on the final lap. Chris O'Connell just behind him, and meanwhile we can see on the static camera Hugh Moreton will finish in 4th, just behind. A fantastic drive for Hugh. Waiting to see where Chrissy Harding and co are. Chrissy going through into turn 10 now, and she's under a lot of pressure from the drivers behind. She got past Andy Lester, and now Andy Lester, by the looks of things, has been passed by James Browning, and Andy goes down the inside of Miles Harding. So Andy gets himself up a spot on the final lap of the race. Miles Harding trying to get himself back into that position. We'll have to wait to see them drag race to the line. Down on the static camera, Chrissy Harding at the head of the train, and Miles Harding just about back ahead of Andy Lester. A fantastic battle between those guys.
Jamie Handyside then took a dominant victory in that race, beating Luka Nik in the end by 6.8 seconds. Luka made that thrilling last lap overtake on Chris O'Connell and ended up bagging himself second place, with Chris coming home in third place as the top senior heavyweight driver. Hugh Moreton ended up finishing a mightily impressive P4 for podium racing, with Ross Samuel then recovering all the way up to P5. Chrissy Harding held on to 6th place in the end, ahead of James Browning, with Chrissy's husband Miles in 8th position. Andy Lacer, meanwhile, ended up a little bit unlucky and ended up down in 9th place, with Yachilo recovering from that spin to finish only 6 seconds behind Andy in 10th place.
Here with Miles Harding and Chrissy Harding. You had a very entertaining
Excuse
race.
me, his name's changed to Loser Harding, Winner Harding.
It's right. I'm Loser Harding. She's Slow Harding. It's very simple.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. We'll move on. So we'll start with Miles.
Loser Miles.
That was an entertaining race. You were both battling. I think at one point you were at the front of the train and Chrissy was at the back of the train.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting to the point where she was slow in most corners. Everyone was catching up to her. Going down the straight, just going slow. And but she defended it and no one could pit past.
Who was at the back?
Not me.
You was at the back.
No, I didn't finish the back. I finished one stop behind you.
Who won behind me? Who was behind me?
Me.
Exactly.
I don't even know if to ask any questions. Chrissy, what are your thoughts on it?
I am the better Harding, okay? And I'm better of the half because I won. I beat you, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
We've got our own little championship. Whoever loses has to pay for the holiday.
Yeah.
But I think it went amazing. I went slower. I got a 59, but I was more defending than anything else.
And it is cold, to be fair. So
Yeah, and it's cold.
No, it's just because you're slow.
No, it's because it's cold. Cold. Oh, thank you. I like you. Cold.
Thank you, guys. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Lou-
So we're here with Chris O'Connell, who also had a really entertaining little race. Chris, you did get overtaken at the end, but you held on to second for a while, and a top 3 must be pretty good.
Yeah, it was surprising. I started 5th, had a brilliant start, managed to jump a couple of places the first corner, second corner, managed to get in the second, end of the first lap I think it was, and then it was just trying to hang on to the leader. He gradually pulled away from us. I had a bit of a gap just a second when I kept checking, and then penultimate lap I think I made a couple of mistakes, and then he just launched on us, and I had no answer to him there, to be fair. I tried to defend, but wasn't going to stop him coming through.